Hello and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender Show, and it is a little bit cold, isn't it, today? Absolutely gorgeous, the weather, the sunshine was brilliant, but on the ground you could see the frost had hit, and I don't know where that come from, to be honest. It wasn't that cold last night, but it seemed to be a deep frost on the 3G pitches, would you believe that? And it was at the North Liverpool JFL. You could see, and it was a little bit hard apparently, first thing in the morning. I didn't get there till around about 9:30ish, but it was lovely to meet up with managers, staff, committee meeting. It was great. Everyone wishing them all the best, Happy New Year, what more could you ask for? And it's always nice to see people for the first time when grassroots football is back. So wherever you were, I hope it was rather entertaining. I know our under-8s, they drew 2-2, so that was a hard-fought game. And the grandson gave a little penalty away towards the very last minute, but that's football, isn't it? They're 8 years of age, they're 7 years of age, they're 6 years of age. Go out, enjoy it, and whatever it brings, yeah, that's it. Go home with a smile on your face and happy. It's the start of 2024. Yes, is it going to be a lucky year for you? Well, let's hope so. I was talking away to Bob from the North Liverpool JFL today, and it was great that the league donated to the food bank. Wasn't as good as last year's reported back, but hey, we didn't expect that because a lot of people are struggling, and they will be throughout this year because apparently the energy bills have gone up from the 1st of January. We were aware of it. I thought it was the end of January, to be honest, but they can't wait, can they? 1st of January, there you go, Happy New Year from British Gas and all these energy companies. Wow, let's put a rise in, a big rise please, and let's get some more money in for this multi-billion-pound company. Well, unfortunately that's the way it is. So what will the bills will that flow onto and have a rise in and hit your pocket? It's going to be a lot, isn't it? You know, because we all play grassroots football. So is that going to, you know, they need to use a lot of energy, don't they? We're talking lights, we're talking floodlights, and with the dark nights in, is it going to hit these fees yet again? If it is, well, we only want one thing, and that's we want you to join our More Play, Less Pay campaign, and that is aimed at keeping the costs down in grassroots football, and also within that we'll have all the admin, everything that the volunteers are doing, managers, coaches. You know, they put in a lot of hard work, and they need to be recognised for the volunteers that they are. Volunteers, remember that word. That is people who take out their own time and go and do something to help out in the community or whatever business, company request and hire volunteers. But when we say hire volunteers, we have a look at the FA. That's probably one of the biggest organisations with volunteers, and they're proud of it. They are very, very proud. I'm a volunteer, and when we talk about volunteering work, we all do this admin work. All the admin, yes, on the whole game system. You know what I'm talking about. You're not paid for all this, by the way, folks. So remember that when you do it. We sign up for it, or do we sign up for it? When you take on a team. So if you're looking to take on a junior football team in 2024, you've got to be aware of what you have to put into it. First of all, you need to have someone on board as a level 1 coach, or yourself. Then you need your DBS check, then you need your safeguarding checks, then you need a welfare officer, and we all agree that we all do need these safeguarding. That's imperative. That goes with grassroots football. DBS checks as well, background checks. We need that. But what we don't need is the cost of them for our volunteers. They should be free at least. We need to look into this, and that's what I say, more play, less pay. We need this campaign off and up and running. I hope you want to join on or jump on board with us. MarathonTextileIron.com. It's also it's supporting teams in grassroots football. Teams we're talking about. Yes, we're on board with the referees, Respect. We know that, and we'll go to that very, very shortly indeed, because we're kicking off another year on that also. So we have a campaign up and running, and that will be aimed at April yet again for this year. So if you can send us some details about your club, about what what it's costing you, what you'd like to see the back end of within grassroots football, and that is costs. That really is cost. Now, when you do these surveys with your FAs and all that, you'll never see anything like that. What is grassroots football? It's costing too much. It really is. We are going to chase teams away from these leagues, I assure you. And if leagues are putting pressure on teams as well, they're getting it from all angles. I'm talking about, it's come to our attention, someone contacted me saying that they've been suspended due to not doing the admin on the whole game system or on a junior league. Now, to be honest, volunteers doing admin, getting the team suspended because of this, I think, fines are enough. Fines, I'd like to see the back end of them, because this is league admin that teams are doing. And if you miss it, now I've so closely missed these, because you tend to go and have a game, you go home and you do other things. Now, people will quote, well, it's simple, it only takes a couple of minutes, but that couple of minutes, you've got to spare that couple of minutes as well, voluntary. And as we all know, I always wanted the card system coming back, and I think that should be accepted as well. If a referee puts a card in about the score and has a little report on there, that should be enough for that team. The manager does enough, or the coach does enough throughout the day, running the team, picking the team, collecting in the subscriptions to keep these county FAs going, basically, because obviously we all have to pay our admin fees, don't we, to the league as well. They have to collect all that, and they have to make sure they're accountants as well, basically. That's what they are, not just the volunteers. So they're all rounders, but they also, should be recognised for taking these kids off the streets and putting them into teams, because you imagine all these teams folding, where would all these kids go? Back on street corners, because there's no youth clubs, and football is all they have to look forward to on a Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes midweek games, or training in midweek, because they train for the game that they have on the Saturdays. Now, we're looking forward to getting up and running again, so we start again on Saturday with our under-7s. Our under-8s kicked off today, so we've got an extra week out of it, and the kids have got an extra break, but they'll be blowing. They really will be blowing, and it's the same for all kids, but we need to make sure that our kids are up and ready and fit enough to go and play their football that they love and enjoy so much. We're all about giving the kids a game, but also we have to put responsibilities onto the parents as well, because it's not just the manager's job to go and collect in the finances, because we have to ask the parents to pay their finances as well. Otherwise, if the parents didn't do it, there wouldn't be any games for our kids. And it's hard for all managers and coaches to ask parents for finances. They try and do fundraising. It's hard to do fundraising. People don't want to give money anymore because they want to save it in their own pockets. And earlier on we just mentioned about energy bills, haven't we? So that tells you everything about grassroots football at the moment. Everyone has a responsibility, but more so your managers and coaches, so they should be recognised for the work that they do. It's just a thankless task, it's a thankless job, and as you say, and as I say, I'll be looking to back down as soon as possible and give someone else the reins to do, because I think it's a little bit too much. I'd rather go back to what I was doing with Don't Cross the Line. I'm still doing it. I'm still doing the Respect campaign. Again, we'll come to that very, very shortly indeed. But it's hard work. So all these managers and coaches should also be recognised, as well as our support for the referees. It's not a family anymore. I've always said that. The grassroots family, we call it, but people, different organisations, want to segregate themselves and do their own thing. So it cannot be a family, because people will not come together with other organisations. Like I Don't Cross the Line, fantastic. We brought everyone aware to the awareness of respect. We were the forerunner for the FA Respect campaign, and we still are, no doubt. We started it, we worked with the FA, and they broke off and wanted to do their own thing yet again. And don't cast your mind back to 2003, nothing like this, what we're doing with Don't Cross the Line, was happening at all in grassroots football, and believe me, there was many teams there as well. But I thought the game was easier. Yes, we've had that about verbal abuse and aggressive behaviour on and off the field of play since 2003 and before that, and it was been onwards, and I always said it took 10 years. Well, it took longer than that one, didn't I? Or didn't it? Anyway, respect. Yes, whenever you're out and about, like today, it was brilliant today. I watched all the girls' leagues. They're the Saturday girls and also the North Liverpool. So there was plenty of people out and about today, and the car park was pretty full to say the least. It looked like everyone was itching to go and watch a game of football. Everyone wanted to run the turkey off. Most leagues are back today, by the way, so a massive Happy New Year to everyone who's back and involved in grassroots football, to all the committees, all the managers, coaches, all the players, all the managers, all the referees. I nearly forgot you, and anyone who I've forgotten who's involved in grassroots football. But we do know, as I just said there, it ain't a family anymore. It's just an organisation, or separate organisations, separate clubs, and people will stay separate. No one will team up, no one will back each other up, everyone will feel sorry, but teams will be teams. Now, I'm there to support every club, every referee, because I want to bring grassroots football together, and we have been since 2003, bringing people together, and we won't change. We're there. It's 2024 now. 2024. Oh, dear me, what a long time we've been involved in this game. And you know what? It's enjoyable and it's hard work, and that's voluntary. That is voluntary, but I don't ask anyone else to do any work. When they come on as a volunteer, I really don't. I just ask them to, well, if they want to, give some feedback about what they've witnessed, what they've seen, and that's about it. Obviously they have to be DBS checked and safeguarded as well. I wish we could do our own, and I wish we could supply it, and we will do if we get funded. We'll pay for the DBS and safeguarding certificates, because it is good practice, and we need to do that because we all have a duty of care for the kids and everyone else who is involved in grassroots football. So that's what Don't Cross the Line is all about, keeping peace on the field of play and off the field of play. And we want to keep our referees involved in the game as well. Now, they're not going to stay involved if there's too much verbal abuse or aggressive behaviour on and off the field of play. The referee is there to do a job. You shouldn't question the referee. Yes, sometimes, and unless it's banter, you know the referee, and then you talk to them at the end and think, wow, that wasn't a pen, that wasn't, you know, you shouldn't have given that. But it's done and dusted now, we have to get on with things. And the referees will turn out and probably apologise 9 times out of 10, saying, yeah, I thought I got that wrong, but they are on their own, so we have to respect that as well. We don't have liners, we only have liners when you've got cup games, and to be honest, I don't even think you need liners when you've got under 7s and under 8s. You just don't need them. That should be the manager's job, position to do that. They're too young for liners, and it costs the team a lot more money. That's my honest opinion. And if you look at the linesmen, oh dear me, they just don't need it, whatsoever. But leagues will do that, and it probably keeps the officials in happy and healthy in their pockets. But what we're saying is, make sure when you're there to watch your child play football that you show respect on and off the fields of play. Now, we should have our 2024 campaign. We want you to sign up for that and support us. If that, well, all it is making sure that your kids are aware of it. What ideas do you have for the Respect campaign? Ask your kids, go back and ask your kids what would bring people together on our awareness weekend in April. We have the PGMOL, which is the Premier Game Match Officials Limited, that's what the L stands for. They'll be supporting us, they'll be wearing our t-shirts, hopefully. I've got to contact them and see if they're back on board with us. And we're hoping that the PFA will also support us and support the t-shirts very kindly indeed. They have been doing that for several years now. So that's, you've seen them all. We have signed autograph shirts to raffle or auction next week. We'll be doing that, and from last season, and they will be worth a few bob, to be honest, and they have authenticity from Don't Cross the Line as well. So there we go, we've got 5 minutes left of the programme. I'm just having a sip of water, so welcome again, once again, to all our SoundCloud listeners and DXTL TV from the touchlines on YouTube. You can see me drinking water, so you know, but they can't hear me or see me on SoundCloud. They can just hear me. But hopefully I don't make a noise when I'm drinking the water. The bottles do. And they always drip everywhere. Have you noticed when you have these water bottles? Dear me. I was talking to someone yesterday and I was very, very surprised that they did not want a bottle of water. Could they have tap water? And I didn't have tap water, obviously, in here. They don't drink bottled water because they say with the COVID too many people handle it. Well, that could be right. That could be right as well. Yeah, it's just people have different habits and you've got to respect what they believe in as well, and that's what should happen in football. We all should stick together on and off the field of play. Encourage the kids, encourage the referees and support them. It should be massive support whenever you go out there. We need your support for this Respect Awareness campaign coming in 2024, and we're just basically continuing where we left off in 2023. In my honest opinion, I think, this is me, my opinion, I'd like to know your thoughts. I believe that the verbal abuse and aggressive behaviour is now becoming slim indeed. It will happen, we know it will, but it's not as blatant and as loud and where you're seeing it as it used to be. I think now it really is working. The people are getting the message. Organisations are getting stronger. Leagues are getting stronger, obviously through the FA. And we're just doing our own thing as well, talking to the parents, talking to the managers and coaches, and just even the players, to show respect towards our referees on and off the field of play. Keep our referees in the game. And we all know about the yellow armbands, don't we? The yellow armbands, if you see a young referee wearing one of them, that means they're still minors and they're at school. So it's just a reminder to you before you start verbally abusing a referee, any referee whatsoever. Now we requested the stats, or we're going to be requesting stats about how many teams are folding, how many managers and coaches are walking away from the game, and how many disciplinary situations do they win when they go into your local county FA. So if a referee puts in a report about a team and it goes to the disciplinary and they appeal, just how many, we compared the referees, don't we, each year, who's leaving, how many referees they have within the game, and it's always put down to verbal abuse and aggressive behaviour. But I know for a fact it's not, because a lot of referees leave to go to uni, a lot of referees change jobs, a lot of referees just say, I can't be bothered anymore. But it's nothing to do with verbal abuse or aggressive behaviour. We still have the majority of referees who stay within that, even though there will be cases that they've walked away from the game. But when I look at them and they've been verbally abused, it's always that they've decided to stay on and go back into it because they don't want to give the irate parents or spectators the power to make sure that they chase them out of the game. So are they really leaving? Now we just want the stats on how many managers are leaving, how many managers are walking and coaches are walking away from the game. Is this due to admin? Is this the reason? Or is it due to managers going to uni? Well, I doubt it, because they've got loads of experienced managers and coaches out there. I'd just like to see what the stats are. I'd like to see that from the county FAs, because the stats are always there about referees, reports and disciplinaries, and when referees walk away from the game. But now we're asking for stats on the managers staying in the game and walking away, and teams folding, and also disciplinary. So it's not much to ask for, is it? That is what we want, stats on that one as well. So we know what teams are walking away and why these teams. If you're one of the teams who are walking away or folding, we'd love to hear from you as well. mal@don'textheline.com, as well as our referees. We want feedback from yourselves to let us know. You can stay anonymous, or obviously you'll tell to me and just say, I don't want it publicised, but at least I can read out and just say we've had so many referees or so many teams who've been in touch with us and given their information regarding why they folded or why they packed in as well. So really, we want to push that this year. That's our 2024, let's say, campaign, part of the campaign, as well as our more play, less pay campaign as well. We need everyone following it. So Don't Cross the Line is going to do a lot more work within grassroots football. As we say, we've been established since 2003, and we just need your support. So please support us, and we'll get all the feedback as soon as we can back to you. So join up to More Play, Less Pay campaign. That's what we want, and I'm hoping that you do like it. In the meantime, we've come to the end of our show again. If you've got anything that you'd like to put towards us, again, mal@don'txtheline.com, and a lot of these are my opinions as well. You'll all have your own opinions, so let's hear your opinion as to what you've heard on today's show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow for our last Sunday show before we have young commentators coming back in 2024 next Friday evening. From myself, Mal Lane, all the team here, the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line, respect campaign, no referendum game, and our Heart of Gold initiatives. We wish you a very good evening. Put your feet up, relax, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night, God bless.